like yourselves understood the bond of family.
Hello and welcome to another marvelous video. In today's video, we will focus on two very peculiar antagonists who work together from Batman's collection of foes. Yes, we're talking about Tweedledee and Tweedledum. The origins of Tweedledee and Tweedledum can be traced back to the Lewis Carroll story Through the Looking Glass, which was a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. In this story, they are two fictional characters that Alice encounters on her journey. In the DC Comics universe, Tweedledee and Tweedledum were created by Bob Kane and Don Cameron and made their first appearance in Detective Comics issue 74 in 1943. So, without further ado, let's find out the origin story of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who are Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Tweedledee and Tweedledum are two iconic characters from DC Comics that have been a part of the Batman universe for many years. These two characters are often depicted as being inseparable, and their antics and misadventures have provided fans with countless hours of entertainment over the years. Their actual identities are Dumfrey and Deaver Tweed, who are related as cousins and bear such a striking resemblance to one another that they are frequently confused as being identical twins. The Tweed duo always engage in their unlawful endeavors together, as they tend to be corpulent and indolent, preferring to devise criminal plots and delegate the physical tasks to their hired minions. They often exploit their remarkable similarity to one another to deceive their adversaries into believing that they are dealing with only one individual. The cousins have consistently been depicted as antagonists, frequently collaborating with other infamous adversaries of Batman, such as the Joker, Penguin, and Mad Hatter. Nevertheless, their humorous and absurd conduct provides a touch of lightness in the otherwise somber and gloomy stories for which the Dark Knight comics are famous. Batman and Robin cross paths with the cousins for the first time during their spree of thefts across Gotham City, as portrayed in the 74th issue of Detective Comics. The Tweed cousins employed a tactic of simultaneously robbing multiple locations to bewilder law enforcement. During their initial interactions, Tweedledee and Tweedledum succeeded in outsmarting the heroic duo, but during their fourth encounter, Batman and Robin were able to foil their plans and hand them over to the authorities. Shortly after their incarceration, the Tweed pair fled from prison and established a fraudulent hotel operation to attract individuals and engage in thievery. Eventually, the dynamic duo of Batman and Robin caught on to their scheme and apprehended them once again. Later on, Tweedledee and Tweedledum devised a political campaign to secure the position of mayor in the town of Yonville. Exploiting their authority, they imprisoned Batman and exploited the residents, but their actions caught up with them when Batman escaped from confinement and apprehended the Tweed cousins, bringing them to justice. After their confinement to Arkham Asylum due to being diagnosed with a mental illness, the Tweed cousins formed an alliance with the Joker while in prison, as depicted in the world's finest comic book series. Upon their escape, they embarked on a crime spree in Metropolis, serving as the Joker's accomplices and executing acts that even the Joker would not attempt himself. However, the collaborative efforts of Batman and Superman successfully halted their actions. During the period of the Great Gang War in Gotham, the cousins participated in the major criminal assembly held at Robinson Park. In the ensuing altercation with the GCPD, Dumfrey Tweed was killed by gunfire. In Detective Comics issue 841, it was confirmed that Dumfrey Tweed had died and his twin brother, Dumson Tweed, had assumed his identity. More recently, the new Tweedledum and Tweedledee were members of the Wonderland Gang, which the public initially believed was led by the Mad Hatter. However, it was later uncovered that the Tweeds were the real masterminds behind the gang's operations. They had taken control of the Mad Hatter's mind control device to exploit his reputation and filled the gang's ranks with other pairs based on Alice in Wonderland. The Mad Hatter ultimately retaliated by placing mind control chips on the two and turning them against each other. Following a brief period of imprisonment, the Tweedle cousins re-established the Wonderland Gang, but their efforts were short-lived as Batman, Robin, and Nightwing quickly captured them. In the Salvation Run arc, Tweedledum and Tweedledee were sent to a different planet along with other villains who were also deported. Later, Hush, who was pretending to be Bruce Wayne, was seen setting them free. Tweedledee and Tweedledum's story in the New 52. In the New 52 era, the characters are reimagined and referred to as the Tweed brothers. In Batman Dark Knight Volume 2, Issue 8, we see during an investigation into a horrific train massacre, Batman ventures into the subway system via a tunnel and encounters Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who attack him. Despite successfully fighting them off, Batman observes that the duo's behavior is unusual as they are filled with anger. Following the skirmish, Tweedledee and Tweedledum escape, blowing up the tunnel and leaving Batman trapped under the debris. Batman later locates them on a nearby rooftop and discovers they are under the control of the Mad Hatter, who is attempting to drive Gotham City insane like himself. In issue 18 of the same series, we see Batman encountering Tweedledee in a nightclub called Wild Hare. In the nightclub, Tweedledee, with bitterness, looks up at Batman and reminds him of their previous encounter when he was a lookout for a bank robbery. Batman had booted him in the face at that moment, inflicting significant damage to his face and skull that required 11 hours of surgery to repair. The surgery required 7 titanium plates and 32 screws, and his jaw was wired shut for 2 months. Upon hearing this, Batman stares at Tweedledee expressionlessly before adopting an angry tone. He reminds him that 2 tellers were killed during the robbery and warns him that he will break his jaw completely if he ever catches him on the wrong side of the law again. In issue 21, Batman encounters them for the last time when the detective enters Mad Hatter's underground lair to face the maniac. Tweedledum, who first saw Batman, begged to be left alone. Instead, Batman subdued him and turned off the mind-controlling apparatus he was in charge of. When he saw Tweedledee, he unintentionally detached his jaw once again. In the Forever Evil arc, Tweedledum and Tweedledee were enlisted by the Crime Syndicate of America to become part of the secret society of supervillains. Other versions of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and appearances in other forms of media. In the prequel comic series for Batman, Arkham Knight, Penguin hires Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and a henchman they call Tweedledee to steal a shipment from Wayne Tech. They manage to capture the cargo, but Batman eventually catches up to them and defeats them, leaving them for the GCPD. Later, while they are in their cell, Arkham Knight kills them with a shotgun. In the prequel comic series for Injustice, Gods Among Us, Tweedledee and Tweedledum are featured in Year 5, where they meet with other villains such as Scarecrow, Bronze Tiger, Black Mask, Mad Hatter, and Man-Bat. During their meeting, Robin shows up and engages in a fight with the villains and quickly defeats the cousins. Gotham, the popular TV series, is known for featuring a diverse range of characters from the Batman comic books on the small screen, so naturally the 2 cousins were also included in the show's lineup. In the series, their family of professional wrestlers is introduced, and the characters are controlled and manipulated by the Mad Hatter. The duo has also appeared in animated shows like 1968's The Batman-Superman Hour, and even in Batman the Brave and the Bold. Batman the Enemy Within, a point-and-click graphic adventure game, features the cousins voiced by Kirk Thornton and David B. Mitchell. In this iteration of the characters, they are named Frank Dunphy and Willie Deaver and are regulars at the Stacked Deck Bar. In this version, they have had previous interactions with Batman and later end up working for the Joker. How powerful are they? Tweedledum and Tweedledee are not endowed with any inherent superhuman abilities in the DC Comics universe. However, they possess remarkable physical attributes that allow them to move uniquely. For instance, their round body shape enables them to bounce and roll effortlessly. In the New 52 version of the comics, Tweedledum and Tweedledee acquired extraordinary physical capabilities, including superhuman strength and durability. They can move quickly and fluidly, allowing them to dodge attacks and move around easily. This makes them formidable opponents in hand-to-hand combat, as they can easily dodge and counterattack their opponents. Another skill that the cousins possess is their proficiency in using various weapons. They are skilled in using firearms, knives, and other tools to cause harm to their enemies. Additionally, they have been known to use traps and other devices to capture or harm their targets, showing their ability to plan and execute complex schemes. In some iterations, Tweedledum and Tweedledee are depicted as having mental powers or being able to control the minds of others. Lastly, Tweedledum and Tweedledee have been shown to have a unique camaraderie and teamwork, which allows them to work together seamlessly in their criminal endeavors. Their mischievous and cunning nature, combined with their physical abilities and skill set, make them entertaining villains in the DC Comics universe. Marvelous verdict. That brings us to the end of the video. Tweedledee and Tweedledum are 2 of the most unique and memorable characters in the Batman universe. Their physical appearances and personalities make them stand out among other villains, and their involvement in various storylines and media adaptations has ensured their place in pop culture history. Whether they are causing trouble in Gotham City or simply providing comic relief, the cousins are sure to remain a beloved part of the Batman mythos for many years to come. What do you think about them? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, remember to hit the button and share this video with all your friends. I'll see you soon.